Hey, hi, Camille here, copycat again. Today I'm going to be making seitan bacon, which is a vegan bacon. It is not Satan, it's seitan. So what I do is actually, it's kind of like maybe like a dough, but it tastes like bacon. So we're going to get into it, and I'm going to show you a little bit about it. This recipe is a little more time consuming than the normal ones that I've made for you, and I wanted to show you a little bit harder ones or a little bit more time consuming ones so you can get an idea what's the easy ones and what's the more time consuming ones. This is not a recipe that you would do after you get out of work. It probably wouldn't be good. It's a little bit, you need to know a little bit of techniques. So after you've done it a few times, you could, but otherwise, you could do it on your day off. So let's get started. You'll enjoy this. This is kind of fun. The first thing we do is we're going to use Vital wheat. I don't know if you know what that is. That's a gluten. I get this from Amazon. I ordered it in the internet. You probably might be able to get it on a health food store, but you're going to use. You have to use the Vital wheat gluten. You can't just use gluten. It will not turn out. This recipe will not turn out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one first. And you're kind of going to understand as I'm going along how we're getting where we're at. We're going to use a cup of this one. There's going to be two different colors. So this one here is going to be the kind of reddish pinkish one. And we're going to use a cup of that. And then we're going to use a fourth of a cup of, now you can use soy flour or chickpea flour, doesn't matter, either one you want to use. I use chickpea flour most of the time. I have a lot of it, so I use it. I like the taste of it, and I like the way it works, but you can use either one, whatever one you have. And you're going to use a fourth of a cup of the soy flour. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Now, nutritional yeast, you can see I've used them in other recipes. You'll use this a lot. What it does is nutritional yeast, it gives your flavoring, it gives you a lot, especially if you're vegan, it gives you a lot of flavoring as far as kind of maybe of a cheese type, and it does make your cheeses, so you'd want to use that. And I'm going to do all the dry ingredients first, and then we'll do the wet ingredients, and then we'll put them in. All right, then I'm going to use, now there's quite a bit of spices in here, so don't panic. They're not like outrageous, but there is a little bit more than normal. The next recipe I'm going to make next time too does have a lot of spices too, so, but don't panic. They're necessary, especially in this one, they are necessary. So I've got smoked paprika. I wouldn't use regular paprika in this. I would use smoked because it's going to give it a flavor. Remember, we're making a seitan bacon, so you want it to taste like bacon as much as possible. So we're going to use 2 teaspoons, make sure I get the teaspoon and not the tablespoon, of the smoked bacon. Oh, sorry, smoked spice paprika. It is going to be smoked bacon when I'm done. So then you're going to do, now this you can get online, I believe, or you can buy it in the stores sometimes. This is called Bourbon Molasses seasoning. Really good. It's a really good seasoning. It actually makes this taste incredible. So you're going to use 1 teaspoon of this. And this. And then you're going to use 2 teaspoons of good old garlic, of course. Normally I would be just throwing this stuff in, but I'm trying to give you guys the exact ingredients. And like I said, the recipes will always be following the video, so you're not going to be out. And if you have questions, you can email me, like I said, Camille@Camille'sCopycat.com. Always do that. I will help you out. Now you need 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I gotta be careful with this pepper thing. Make sure that thing is close. You need 2 of these. The pepper, this black pepper, the 2 teaspoons sounds like a lot, but it isn't, because for this you need that little, just that little tang, and the pepper kind of makes that. Then you're going to use, now we're going to all your spices are in. So just kind of whisk them up so they get incorporated together. That's all you got to do. So now we're going to do the wet ingredients. So for this particular recipe, I had seen this recipe on the internet and I liked it. I thought it was great and I couldn't wait to try it. And yes, it was time consuming, but I needed to, because of the recipe, I changed it to make it my own as usual. Because of the flavor, it wasn't quite there. So I did different things to it. And what I'm doing right now are some different things that I did to change the recipe to make it taste more, I feel, more like bacon, if you a bacon lover. So what we're going to do is we're going to, on this one right here, we're going to put 1/3 cup of water. I'm going to get 1/3 cup of water. And I'm going to do 1/3 cup of beet juice. This is beet juice, and if, you know where you get beet juice from beets, and you just open up a can. They're not expensive. Get the juice, and if you like beets, just eat them, which I do like beets. I put 1/3 of this. That makes it 2/3. All right. Gotta be careful. You know beet juice stains, so be careful on that one. Now you're going to, and you got to warm this up in the microwave. You're going to put a tablespoon of tomato paste. Now, tomato paste is thick. Do not use tomato sauce. There's a difference. You have to use tomato paste because it gives it a little bit of thickening. So you're going to use a tablespoon. You're going to put that in there. Get all your liquids together. This is kind of liquidy, even though it's thick. It's a little liquidy. It's going to be when I get done with it. So you're going to put it in there. You're going to kind of get rid of it, and then you're going to stir it up. All right. So let me get that off there. We got tomato paste on there. Okay. So kind of stir that up. Try to get, you don't have to get this real smooth. It doesn't matter because it's gonna get warm, and then it's going to be, we're gonna pour it in there. So now you're going to put, this is really important. This, I don't know if you've ever used this or not. This is called Wright's Liquid Smoke. This really makes it taste like you're outside barbecuing somewhere, like a smoked flavor. You're going to use a teaspoon of liquid smoke. And you can smell it right when you put it in. You really can. It's amazing. But it does smell incredible. You're going to use 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'll just use this because I need this. And use 1, 2, and 3. All right. Now you're going to use 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Put all that in there. Whisk it around. And you're going to use 1 tablespoon of molasses. Molasses is thick, but really makes a good flavor. Use a tablespoon. Get that off. All right, so now this comes the fun part. The fun part's about to begin. Okay, so you're just gonna mix that up. While I'm warming this up in the microwave, we're going to start the other one, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It'll all come together once I show you the 2 together. So now we're just going to warm this up in the microwave. And 30, 40 seconds, it doesn't matter. Let's go 30. And then this is all ready to go. So now this is going to be the red, it's called the red dough. And then this one is going to be the white dough. And we're going to interchange them, and you'll see how it all comes together. Pretty unique and really quite cool. It really is. So now you're going to use a 1/2 cup of the Vitel wheat gluten. This wheat gluten does a lot of things, and I'm going to be working with it next time too, because the one I'm going to make next time, it's amazing also. This one. So now this is warm. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix this in. You just smell it. It already smells like bacon. So if you're vegan and you're just starting out to be vegan and you're missing all these things, that burgers and things that taste like bacon in the morning, and you can put, you know, bacon and beans, or if you're cooking with it, or you want to have bacon and something, that bacon flavor, this is a good way to go, because you'll be able to use this in other recipes. You can just throw chunks of it in, it'll give it that flavor, or crumble it up, fry it, and crumble it up. So you're just going to mix that up the best you can, and then you're going to get your hands. What you need to do is you kind of need to knead this, but you're going to see this. I'm going to show you this in a minute as soon as I just kind of work it and knead it like that, because it's like dough basically. You just have to work it and knead it. But you can see how it has like a red color. You can see that. It looks almost like hamburger, but not. So you want to just kind of knead that a few minutes, and then so you can get the gluten working in it, and that's what you need to do. Just kind of a little bit, because you're going to be doing some other things with it that'll work this gluten. So now you got the red. You're going to leave that. You're going to set that aside for a minute, and we're going to do the white. Let me wipe my hands off real quick, and we'll do the white. Okay, so now the white one you're going to use, like I said, half a cup. I already got that in there. You're going to do 2 tablespoons of the soy flour or chickpea flour, whatever you have. There's 1 and there's 2. All right. And then you're going to use 1 tablespoon of the nutritional yeast. That gives it its flavor, and you're good. And then you're going to use a teaspoon of garlic powder, excuse me. You don't want to use salt in there. And you're going to use, okay, that is a teaspoon, okay. Teaspoon of the garlic powder. And you're going to do a teaspoon of salt, regular salt. And that's the only salt you're going to be really putting in there. The rest of them don't have it, so it's not like it's a ton. Gonna whisk it up, and then you're going to. Now we're going to do the liquids on this one too. So you're going to do 3 teaspoons of canola oil. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. All right. Same thing. We got to get some water, and then you're going to have a half a cup of warm water. So we're going to take this, and we'll get us a half a cup. And I believe that's what. Okay. We'll get this a little warm. And we'll go 25 seconds on that one. 25 seconds, however you want to do it and get it warm is fine. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up some of this while I'm doing this. When I get this done, I'm going to actually make a bacon lettuce tomato sandwich for you and show you how incredible it is when I'm all done. This time of year, it's getting closer to fall. A good thing to have is bacon, lettuce, tomato, and homemade tomato soup, which is another episode. And I can make some killer homemade tomato soup. So, let me get that out. Mix it up. Same thing. It's going to... One thing about this Vitel wheat is it mixes quick. You got to be really quick. Make sure you're quick. Don't lag around. because it will definitely start getting gluteny. That's the only word I can say, gluteny, because it gets it quick. So you're going to kind of just do the same thing. Use your hands. You can see that this one now is the white. Okay? And this one, and they are kind of sticky, but that's all right. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do on that. I think I need... Okay, so we're going to just leave that alone for now. We're going to move some of this stuff out of the way, get it out of the way so we can do what comes next. This part's a little hard. You'll get used to it after you've done it a couple times. Oops. Okay, let me take a little of this just to be safe. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to move some of this out of the way so I can roll, because I got to roll this stuff. And it can be messy. So you want to get everything you can out of the way. Alright. As best as possible. So now we're going to take a couple pieces of wax paper. We're going to take and we're going to put this, hang on just a minute. We're going to do the red one first. So put a little bit of that flour down, just a little, so it doesn't stick too much. And you're going to kind of pat it out. What you're going to do now is you're going to cut 4 pieces. Cut 4 pieces. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be exact. None of this has to be perfect. So keep that in mind. You do not have to make this perfect. Even when you're making these, because it doesn't matter. Because when you go to cut it, which I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter. First of all, your stomach doesn't know. So remember that. So, you're going to get 4 balls here. And you can see where I'm going here. And you're going to take this and you're going to put, I put a little bit more of this on there. And go like this. Just make your ball, kind of work it. And flatten it. Then take a piece over it. And you're going to roll it. Like, this is kind of like dough, but a lot harder. I mean, it's like, you just kind of press it and roll it. Press it and roll it. Gotta have some muscle on this one, but well worth it. I will tell you this, it's well worth it. So my goal is to hopefully, I'd like to come out with a cookbook where the vegan peeps can have a recipe, and then people that aren't vegan peeps, one side can have a regular recipe, the other side can have the same recipe, but it's vegan. So hopefully that's what my plan is to be able to do. And that way you'll have a cookbook and you can make a meal for your family, or you can make a meal for yourself, or if you're not vegan and your husband is, vice versa, however you want to do it. All right, so this here, you just take it, and now it's kind of spread out, so you really don't have to go too farther than that. So you just kind of just go like this, and you kind of stretch it, and it kind of looks like meat. But now what you're going to do, now is the fun part. Now you're going to take and you're going to go over here and you're going to oil your board. So you take canola oil and you're going to oil your cutting board. Just a little. Put it down. I'm just going to show you a few steps and then I'm going to actually show you the product. So, because this is more time consuming to roll it out. Like I said, if you have the time, do it. Okay, so you're just going to put oil on there, and it also takes, this also takes 30, you have to leave it set for 30 minutes because it makes the gluten set better. So you're just going to take it and you're going to put it on the board, you're going to kind of stretch it, however you want, however big you want, however thick you want. If you want it thinner, this is about right, because you're going to put more on there. So you're going to put these, we're not going to do these right now, you can kind of see where I'm going. And then we're going to take, I'll leave this here. I'm going to take this one and we're going to cut this one too. Put it on wax paper. It's easier. You might be able to roll it easier on your counter. I feel the wax paper is better because I can just peel it off. So put a little bit of this on there. Same thing. You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to start layering this. You're going to start layering it. You're going to start layering it. And put a little bit of that on there. And you're going to do 3 of these. You're not going to do 4. You're going to do 3 because it's going to end up. And then what I do is I take and I separate and I put a little piece more on each one to make it even. So go like that, go like that. There you go. You got 3. So go like this and you got it. So now you got your balls. Put them in there. And you can see where I'm going with this exactly. You know, maybe you can't, but basically I'm going to start layering it on top, and then when you cut this, which you'll be amazed when I show you, it looks just like bacon. But most of all, the best part, it really tastes just like bacon without the meat and the aftertaste of meat or pork, which isn't good for you. So, but you can fool some people sometimes, especially if you're making hors d'oeuvres or anything like that. Kind of just press it and roll it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It never has to be perfect because it's not going to matter once you cut it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Sometimes I make them really thin if I want it thin. Sometimes if I want thicker sandwiches, I'll cut it thicker. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so you can see where I'm going here. So when you stretch this and you bring this over like this, you put it on top. And you just keep, which I'm going to finish this later, you just keep layering it. And you keep layering it. And then at the very end, you're going to take plastic wrap. You're going to put the plastic wrap on top. You're going to put another cutting board, like this, on top of this when you get all your layers done, and put this on top and weight it down for 30 minutes. So you get where I'm coming from. So after 30 minutes, then you're going to take and set your oven for 300, and you're going to leave it in only 30 minutes. Do not leave it in any longer than that because you want this not to be really hard dry because it'll get dry in that oven. So, and you're going to wrap it in foil, put it in the oven for like 30 minutes. You want it to look like it's not done because when you go to cut it, it's going to cut a lot smoother and you can get different sizes, slices a lot easier. Plus, you're also going to fry it, which I'm going to show you right now. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to show you what it looks like. You're going to take it, let me get this on. I know, I'm going to focus here. This is amazing. It's very amazing. So, so you can see it looks like bacon. So I stretched mine out. There's the same amount, but I stretched them out, and I put it in the refrigerator. When you put it in the refrigerator overnight, it kind of sets, and then you can slice it. But I've sliced some that were thicker, and I sliced some that are really thin. But right now I'm going to make a bacon lettuce tomato sandwich you can actually see. It tastes incredible. And it smells. I mean, if you could just smell this, you'd be like, oh my God, it smells so good. And it does taste good. It really does. Especially for sandwiches. And when you're vegan, it's hard to get good sandwiches because you know, you can't just eat anything unless you're eating all vegetables. So once in a while, you like to think outside the box. And these are cool things, especially for guests that really like it. They'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. You have fun doing it. It's a little tricky at first, but you will get the hang of it. It's not expensive to do. You get a lot for your money. It's really incredible. So now I'm going to take the seitan and I'm going to fry it in the pan. So I'm bringing home the seitan and I'm frying it up in the pan. So here we go. You just only saute it basically just for a few seconds. But right now, let me turn that down because I'm gonna show you the actual sandwich. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take bread. Now I use Dave's bread. You can use whatever you want. I think there's 10,000 different grains in here. It's a lot of grains. You know, Dave's got a lot of grains in his bread. I like it. It's very filling. It's good. It's healthy. Really, there's 21 grains. The taste is incredible. But you can use what you want. So I'm going to toast some bread up, and while that's cooking, and then I'm going to show you actually the sandwich, how it looks when it's all done. It is amazing. Let's put this in here, and I'm going to put a few thicker slices, and I got thin and I got thick. So put a little bit of both. There we go. So you'll be able to see that cooking. So now you're going to put it in there. You really only need it a few seconds, but this is the key. You need to put the Lowry seasoned salt on it. It makes a huge difference. You really got to sprinkle that on there. It makes it, just brings out that whole flavor. It really does. For one thing, when you have sweet and salt, it's incredible. And the sweet and the maple syrup and the molasses, that salt with it, that seasoned salt, just brings out that flavor, and that hickory flavor, smoked hickory flavor, is incredible. Some things, if you don't like them, you can eliminate some. Some you can't, so be careful on this. On this particular recipe, a lot of times you can eliminate. There's some things here you can't. And you can't, do not ever overbake this. Because if you overbake it, you will not get this at all. You will, I have done it myself. I thought cooking it longer would be better. So trust me, I've tried it. It does not work. It wound up being like a brick. And that, I don't think anybody wants to eat a brick unless you want to use it for bacon jerky, which I think your teeth will fall off trying to eat it. So basically we're frying it up, and you can see how incredible this looks. I mean, it looks just like bacon, and it smells incredible. So we're going to put that there. What I do is, and this is up to you, I don't know if you like tomatoes or if you like bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, or whatever you like. I take and put, again, I call it vegan mayo. It's not. It's Hellmann's vegan dressing spread. I put that on it. I butter the toast first, and I don't know how you make yours, but that's how I make mine. And then I put a tomato and lettuce on it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, as soon as we get this cooked up. Now these you only want to cook for a few seconds. Like I said, about the time your toast is done, you're done. Just enough, really, basically, to heat it. You don't want it to cook too long, but you can see how incredible that looks. All right, so get it off. It's done. And you're going to take your bread. Oh my God, this sandwich is so good. And you're going to butter it with, again, Earth Balance vegan margarine, or vegan butter, spread, I guess you'd call it. I don't know, all these terms, whatever you want to call it. People have their own thing. People get caught up in names, just like they don't like you to call anything vegan meat, because it's not. Then they get all caught up in this. You don't get caught up in it. It just works. Just eat it. It works. So, and we're going to put this on. I don't know how much mayo you like or spread you like, but I like a lot. So, then you're going to take your lettuce, of course, and nothing's better than fresh lettuce and tomato. This time of year, you get tomatoes out of your garden if you have a garden. That's another thing. When you do have tomatoes out of your garden, that's the time to make the tomato soup and the bacon lettuce tomato sandwich. Wonderful. Fresh. You can tell. Tastes like real tomatoes. So I'm going to put this on, and I'll put a couple slices of tomatoes on it. This is amazing. Just amazing. Oh my God, I just want to like eat this thing right now. So, okay, so we're going to put that on. Let me grab some tomatoes real quick. I swear I need a kitchen. I need a huge kitchen. All right, so we're going to, this is some nice tomatoes. Slice your tomatoes, get them on. I don't know if you, like I said, I don't know if you like tomatoes, but do it however you want. It's entirely up to you. Put that on there, and there, and you can see how this looks right now. It is amazing. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing dish. That's why it's worth it, people. You know, I know it's a little time consuming, but like I said, once you get the hang of it, people are going to keep asking you, you know, I want some more of that. They're not even going to know. You can just make it. Anyways, I hope you enjoy these recipes. You guys, like I said, if you have questions, just email me. I've had fun today. Thanks for coming back and joining me. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time. But next time, we're going to have even a greater thing that you're going to really enjoy. Bye, and take care.